Hey everybody, for the battles here, and I am home from Portland. I am just going to go over my tournament recap. That was an awesome tournament. Thank you so much to Sweetums and the rest of the crew for putting that tournament on. I ended up going 7-1. I took one loss, and that was to the winner of the tournament, Wild Susan Boyle, who I called my coach, and he is just a brilliant player. It was an honor to get to play him. Massive congratulations to him. Even though I did take one loss and wasn't able to conquer the tower, I still feel good, really good about that tournament. It did boost me up to ace trainer, and so this is the first time I've been an ace trainer, and very excited about that. And so I'm just going to go over my tournament today. I'm going to start out with the team that I went with, and I hope you guys enjoyed the tournament. Now, a lot of thank you to the Nut, the trainer. If you've heard of him, he is a amazing trainer out of Europe. He was right at the top of the list for season one. He's already been rank one for season two as well. He puts in a ton of battles and is just very hard to beat. Now we came to this team. I got a lot of confidence with this team early because a lot of talking with Felix, a lot of strategizing, and I just was very comfortable with this team early on, and so I got some practice with it, and just definitely a team that has some interesting Pokemon that some people are just maybe not used to seeing, and so I felt like maybe they might not be respected and maybe not expected. So I'm just going to go over that team, and then I'm going to jump into the battles, and I hope you guys enjoy them. All right, hey guys, I'm just going to go over my Rose Cup team, and so these are the guys that I used for this tournament. Now, I would say that Rhydon was my MVP. I feel like a lot of people didn't respect the Rhydon, maybe kind of underestimated the power of Mudslap after the Mudslap buff. And so Rhydon was my anti-steal. I actually didn't really like using Medicham that much. So I kind of avoid using Medicham if I can, just because, I don't know, I just didn't really like using fighters very much. And so I really preferred to use Rhydon when I could. I liked its powerful moves. I liked that it could hit a lot if it did get into a situation where it was able to mud slap a steel down. It would have a surf or a stone edge left over. It was just so powerful against Marowak. This particular Rhydon actually hit a mud slap breakpoint versus a level 41 Sableye. It does one more damage per mud slap than most Rhydon do, and it actually had pretty poor IVs. It was the only one I had available, and it just happened to hit that breakpoint. So that was just a perk, and you could only hit that with a high enough attack, and this one happened to have that. And so we had Rhydon, and then we had Alolan Marowak. Now, I would say Alolan Marowak is probably my second MVP. I particularly like this Alolan Marowak because this was traded to me by Robin Sparkle's Kim House Stark's girlfriend, and it was our first trade, I believe, and it's a rank 4, and so it was it's probably not changing a whole lot of matchups, but just honestly, the confidence I have in this Marowak and the amount of practice I've had with this Marowak, I kind of know exactly what it can take and exactly what it can't take, and I just like this Marowak. I feel like it's a little bit lucky for me. So that was the second member of my team. And then we've got our Probopass. Now, Probopass sometimes it feels like a liability, especially in cups where we have a whole lot of water mud boys around. We didn't have those in this cup. I feel like Probopass is a staple almost. It just does its job the best. It is I'd say the best anti-flyer, the best anti-charmer, and I had a particularly good Probopass. This is a rank 1 Probopass, and it was just a strong member of the team that I've tried other options. I tried a Alolan Graveler. I didn't like how squishy it was. It was great anti-flyer. Didn't like how it didn't do well with Charm. And so I did go with Probopass. And so for the next member of our team, we've got Golbat. Now, Golbat is an interesting Pokemon here. It is a very versatile Pokemon. I really liked the fact that it could hit fighters, it could hit Sableye, it could hit Charm, it could hit Marowak. It's just a very versatile Pokemon. A lot of people maybe weren't very prepared for it. It's not an amazing swap because of, can't do a whole lot to Probopass, but it kind of made a good third member of some core trio teams. In case you lose your anti-fighter, anti-charm to something else, you're going to have the Golbat. And I like how tanky it is. I didn't think that it was going to be when I first started using it, but it can just tank a lot. It can tank a Shadow Ball. You don't really have to be afraid. You can take that risk of not blocking the first one because you can survive a Shadow Ball and get off 1 or 2 or 3 charge moves after that. So Golbat was the next member of my team. And then we had Wigglytuff. I like Wigglytuff, as I think it's the best charmer here in my opinion, just because mainly the Marowak matchup, being able to just kind of go toe to toe with the Marowak. You're not going to really win. Doesn't win Marowak unless you've got an energy advantage in that Marowak has some health missing already. But one of the benefits of Wigglytuff is you really don't have to block from Marowak unless you run into a special like Fire Blast or something Marowak. You really don't have to block from Marowak. You can just tank Bone Clubs and Shadow Balls. So sometimes you can use your Wiggly as basically a wall to absorb some energy from Marowak. And still gonna lose, but it's gonna lose a lot more slowly than any other charmer, just because of that normal typing. And so for our last member, we had Medicham. Now I'd say Medicham is probably the least favorite member of my team, but I definitely did use it. And I went with a Medicham that did not have fighting charge moves. I feel like it counters just enough damage for most of the steals here. The only problem you do run into is Steelix teams, because Steelix is not double weak. Steelix is not double weak like a Probopass and other Pokemon, and it's not going to go down as fast as like a Rhydon. So Steelix, if you run into Steelix and you're not running a fighting charge move, that is definitely can be a problem. But the versatility of Ice Punch and Psychic is very nice. If you run into a Golbat, you're going to be able to one-shot it with Psychic. You run into either the Gligar, you're going to be able to Ice Punch. You've got Ice Punch. You don't really need a fighting charge moves for the Rhydon and Rhyperior because you do have the Ice Punch. And then you can just counter down Alolan Graveler, Probopass, and then you'll have fighting charge moves, or you'll have a charge moves left over for the next. Alright, so that was my team, and we're going to go ahead and jump into this first round. Now I was matched up with King 929, and I can see from his team right away, first thing I see is a Steelix that beats my Probopass. I see a Machamp that my Medicham will beat. I see a Gligar that I don't have like an amazing counter to, just kind of take care of it with a little bit of everything. Now I go in and I lose the lead. I immediately switch into Marowak here, and I'm expecting him to switch. So I overcharge a little bit just so I might have something left for something that comes in, but he does not switch. So we're just going to go ahead and play this out. Now I know if he does stay, I will just retain swap advantage. I don't actually need to block this. I can tank it. If he decides to block this, he actually can take swap advantage back. So we're going to see how it plays out, but he goes ahead and he lets me basically take back the lead there. So I'm going to go into this Haunter with the Rhydon, and you can just see how fast those mud slaps take that Rhydon down. Now he brings in his Machamp, and it lets me come right into my Golbat. Now this is why swap advantage is so important in a lot of metas, and this meta is one of them, depending on your team. But for this particular trio, it was important. And so him letting me save my Rhydon definitely let me come back from that match. As you can see, the Golbat can even take that Rock Slide. So I'm just going to have this move for the Haunter, and I'll be able to close it out with the next. Now that I have his shield, I'll just be able to surf him right down. So this was going to be, this was round 1, game 1, and we're going to go into the next. Now we actually both went with the same leads, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing I did before, and we'll see if he does this differently. He actually goes into the Machamp, which isn't a great swap for him. He does have Rock Slide, but I can just block it, and then I'm going to super resist his fighting moves. And so as long as I just block one Rock Slide, I will be able to take this back, because Marowak can take one Rock Slide, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna get a whole bunch of energy, finish him off with one Bone Club, and then I'm just gonna have a big move for the next Pokemon. I did see that Haunter come back, so this Bone Club will not KO. I'm just gonna go right into the Rhydon real quick so I can Mud Slap him down. And then because I had a little bit of an energy advantage, I'm going to be able to get this Stone Edge. Rhydon does okay with Wigglytuff, but not in the lead position. If it has an energy advantage and it can get to that Stone Edge, it does do okay. So that was game 2, and we're going to go ahead and go into the third game of round 1. I do lead with Rhydon again. We're going to see if this plays out any differently. All right, so we've got Rhydon into Wiggly for the third time. I will just go right back into Marowak again. And now this is a little bit of an issue for Marowak. The Night Slash is going to be super effective. I kind of, when I do this sometimes, if the person is sitting in front of me, sometimes I'll miss some bubbles because I kind of make my hands look like I'm doing the other move sometimes, whether or not people are looking. So if you ever see me do some weird gestures like right here on the screen, it's because I'm trying to look like I'm doing a Bone Club sometimes. This Glycard is going to take back swap advantage here. I am just going to let this Marowak go because I don't have anything towards the next. I will be able to come in with Golbat. Golbat does fine with Glycard. It doesn't have to block anything. And so I'll be able to get some energy. I am just going to fast move him down, and then I will have a Shadow Ball basically for whatever comes in. And Shadow Ball is very devastating to Charizard, especially in Great League. Charizard is very squishy. I'm not going to let him get too much energy, so I will just swap right into Rhydon. Rhydon's squishy as well, as you can see, but swapping in allowed me to get that extra fast move. I am just going to go for the Surf here because I wasn't sure if I was going to make that Stone Edge. But I do have a shield and I have energy on this Golbat, so I am just going to fast move down, and then I'll be able to take this Charizard out. I don't really need to throw this Shadow Ball, but I had it, so why not? So that was going to be round 1, and very good games. We will go into round 2. Now we're looking at Jaro's team. I see an Excadrill, which I have not seen a whole lot of, and a Probopass, and a Haunter, and a Charizard. So Rhydon is looking like a decent lead here. I'm going to use Marowak to protect him, and Wigglytuff in the back. And so we have won the lead here. We're just going to Mud Slap away this Haunter. He switches into Skarmory. Now, I could have Surfed or Stone Edged. Stone Edge would do quite a lot to Skarmory, but I'm going to save that Rhydon for later, and I go into my Marowak. Now, I didn't shield. I'm hoping because I didn't shield that he will not either, and so he doesn't. He lets that Skarmory go. And it looks like his team is a little weak to this alone Marowak because he does come in with Wiggly. And he actually shields a Bone Club. You don't really need to shield anything from Wiggly. And so just because he was a little weak to this Marowak, he's going to keep this Wigglytuff alive. But I'm just going to come in with this Probopass, and I can basically just fire him down at this point. And so he is going to let me because he does have Haunter in the back, and Haunter can't do a whole lot to Probopass. I'm just going to go ahead and throw up a shield and then take this Haunter down to close out game 1. So we're going to go into game 2. I do go ahead and lead Rhydon again. I have lost this lead. I don't like Rhydon with Wiggly in the lead position. I am just going to get a little bit of extra energy and go into my Marowak. Now he switches into an Excadrill, which is pretty good against Marowak. I'm going to throw a Shadow Ball right away. I'm hoping to either draw the shield or take a lot of health off. I do get a shield. And then I'm going to be able to get another Bone Club right before I faint, and I do go ahead and get that second shield. I come in with Medicham because I know Medicham can't handle any move Excadrill has, so I am not going to block. I'm just going to get a little energy on this Medicham and come back into the Rhydon and finish it off with the Surf. And then I'm just going to be able to close this match out with this Rhydon. I have the Medicham in the back, but we will not need it. So good game. We're going to go into game 3. I think I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and lead Medicham for this, just because I did see the Excadrill and the Probopass in the game before. This isn't a great situation for Medicham. Charizard being pretty squishy, does have to block like a Psychic. So I am going to just go ahead and go for the Ice Punch right away. See if I can get a shield out. I don't get a shield. I'm going to go for one more Ice Punch, and then I am going to get out of here and try to absorb what I suspect is an incoming Blast Burn onto this Marowak. And I'm going to save my shield. That Fire on Fire is just not too much, and then I can also take a Dragon Claw here. So I've got a lot of energy at this point and 2 shields. I could have gone for the Bone Club here. I would have been able to get 2, I believe, but I was just thinking I'm either going to take it out or take the last shield, and then I'll be able to just go in straight with this Rhydon and Mud Slap this Haunter down. Now back in comes the Wiggly, and because I had that extra energy from going in early, I am just going to be able to get to this Stone Edge. And then I do have this one last shield. I will just throw it up, and then one Mud Slap will take the rest of this Haunter down. So good games, good round 2. We're actually going to go into round 3 right now, and this was live streamed. I was paired with Fowler Ash, so I'm just going to show the live stream portion of my tournament, and that will be coming up next. Now for the first game of this, we actually had a lag issue. I ended up winning the game, but there was an issue where Mason lost fast attacks, so we had to replay that. I'm going to just not show that battle just for the sake of time. So this is just going to start with a fresh game 1 and then go on for the next 2 games.
No pressure as they have a full auditorium here.
I know now
them.
everybody, literally everyone is watching them in the auditorium. Let's see how this plays out. Let's see if they play it any different. So we see, again, the Rhyperior led into the Marowak, a strong matchup for us. Let's see if he opts to play this differently.
Oh, no.
Nightwing photobombing. All right, we see a similar swap. We see the Golbat come back, and we'll see if this plays out differently, because this matchup did not go well for 4 of the battles last time, right?
No.
Like, this was a 2 shield on both of them that ended up resulting essentially in the match being determined.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Oh.
No lag.
We got a little more lag there. We'll see how they play this through. Mason's phone churning a bit. We all know and love the beast that is lag. And by love, I mean we hate. But we'll see. This Shadow Ball seems ambitious. I guess I don't know how much Poison Fang does here.
Okay, gonna take
all right,
it.
Mason lets it go. Looking, I think, to pick up some kind of energy advantage, but this is going to be able to This is gonna be interesting. So, yep, there we go. No charge moves, wasted energy there. Valorash's phone is on like 10% battery life. that is accurate.
So it is overheat on the Charizard.
Okay, it's overheat. So it's air/Dragon Claw overheat. There we go.
And chat kind of agreeing that maybe the players shouldn't have been able to watch the replay. That way they don't know each other's moves.
I think that they had agreed that was the best available option to them.
Okay.
I believe that the way that broadcasting these prevents screen recording. Typically, you can't record over when you're broadcasting.
True.
So I believe that was the only option they had available to them. But both players involved in that, obviously.
Yeah. Saving the shields, obviously, for
Yep.
probably the right on.
I think he has to, right?
Yeah.
We see a lot of switching. My games never look like this. That's how I know these players are absolutely in a class all their own. Right? Like they're just like they've got plans on plans on plans. We see the surf coming down from Rhyhorn. We'll see the shield. And this is starting to look very much out of hand for Mason. We'll get the bait here, which is essential to even the
Even
possibility.
if you want to call it a bait, I mean, it's still a good chunk of damage.
Yeah, that's true. But Mud Slap is just going to absolutely truck, and we'll see if he gets to the Shadow Ball. We'll see if there's a second shield here. There is. Yeah. I think Kim knows that she can get to the surf and just ruin.
Or will she just farm it down and then save it?
Or Stone Edge. There's a Charizard left, right?
Yep. And no shields.
There it is. And the surf. I think that this is going to be enough. All right. And we see the surf close it out.
Yep.
Game 1 for the battles. We've still got 2 more games in this set to go. Well played, well played.
I think going with the surf there instead of taking the chance that Stone
Sure.
Edge had a delay on it.
Sure. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna get on to game 2. We'll see if these players adjust. Do you think you're gonna see any switch ups here?
I don't think we'll see double fire.
No, I don't think we will. I think, and I do feel like Mason knows that ride on was a potential problem and just didn't have like, hey, I hope she doesn't bring it.
Yeah.
I hope she doesn't bring it. And it did not work out, especially in the lead. There just was no way to do that. Yeah, Mason's on 13% battery life, as is tradition. There we go. The Do Not Disturb is on.
Blackshin, no.
He finally put the Do Not Disturb on. Yeah.
Yeah, we try to let people know not to do that because we've had some fun experiences in the past.
Yeah. You should definitely have your Do Not Disturb on while you're battling.
And streaming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely streaming.
Yep. So we'll see how they adjust here. I do really think that like Rhydon is a bigger problem than maybe Mason gave it credit for.
Yeah.
I think he knows how to beat it with the Charizard.
Yeah.
But there he goes. He's already putting that Machamp into the battle party. Although based on what I'm seeing, we're gonna see that Alola Marowak led into it.
Yeah.
And that is not a great matchup for Machamp.
But it also comes down to if it can get to those rock slides
Right.
or not.
Right. It definitely is going to be close. It's going to come down a lot to whether or not you can land those rock slides.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But we do see we're looking at double fire again. We do see loading up. I like this team from For the Battles a lot.
Yeah.
If it wins the lead, great. You eliminate the fighter.
Yeah.
And you've got 2 real big tanks behind.
Yeah.
You lose the lead. You could sack swap one.
Yeah.
But you're going to find, I think, that For the Battles is going to win the lead. And I think you're going to see For the Battles sell out to beat this Machamp.
All right, let's see how it goes here.
Wow. All right, so we see Alola Marowak led into a Machamp. We'll see how these players play it. We have a quick swap, and we'll see potentially a swap here. Yep.
There's a little bit of a delay.
So this is a sack swap, it appears.
Yeah.
At this point, I mean, overheat is still a massive move. So
let it go.
Wow, how much damage this is? Oh, he's not even charging it. He's undercharging it. He wants to leave that energy on for Machamp to farm, right? That's the whole play here. He knows he needs to get this out. The problem is that there's still a Rhydon.
Yeah, there's still a Rhydon.
Yeah, this Machamp needs so much more and needs so much energy to potentially make this work.
Ooh!
Wow, no shield. Saving the shields again. I think he knows he needs to beat this Alola Marowak.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure he knows that there's there is a ride-on still here.
So I think Machamp just won the CMP tie there.
Yep. So no shield. Oh, it's Stone Edge.
Oh,
Oh, no. Totally caught off guard. That is not the move you were expecting. That does way more damage. Oh, my. That is a spicy choice. That's the Legacy Stone Edge.
Yeah.
Wow. What a interesting, like, that is unbelievable. All right, we see a ride-on in this. Well, I was going to say that's great, but I don't know that this is going to matter. We've got 2 shields in play for both players. There's no way out of this for Alola Marowak, right?
No.
Absolutely no way out of this.
Ride-on just going to do it. Ride-on does.
Yep,
just come in,
slap. That's all I do. All I do is slap. There's nothing you can do there. Wow, that is a crazy. That Stone Edge caught me so off guard. I didn't even see the rest of the battle. It was like all of a sudden, like, oh wait, Kim is just. There we go. We're at 7,656 wins for the battles. Takes the match over Valorash. We do get one more battle here, so we'll get to see these players play it one more time. These 2 excellent players, Rocket, but unbelievably well played. That Stone Edge was outrageous. I didn't even notice it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just like, oh, it's Rock Slide. It's got Rock Slide.
Yeah.
I know there's a rock move there. I don't need to catch that. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, that's a Stone Edge. And it just blanked it. That's unbelievable. Wow.
All right,
he needed to save the Machamp. I don't think he thought she brought the 2 tanks. All right, we have a Wigglytuff and the Rhydon is back. Finally, a matchup that isn't abysmal for Mason here. And we actually see a quick switch out of the Rhydon to the Alola Marowak. And I think we're going to see the Sableye come in and counter it. Yeah, there it is. Sableye obviously well positioned here. You don't really want to take a Shadow Ball, but you can absolutely do some work here. Kim going to go straight for the Shadow Balls, put some shield pressure on, or put a big dent into the Sableye's health. There's no shield. Oof. Now this starts to get interesting because those Fire Spin damage, that starts to add up now. So if – oh, and she even got to the Bone Club before that Foul Play came out.
Yep.
Wow. That's a lot of pressure. I don't know that shield is going to pay off necessarily.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yep, nope, there's the shield. We're going to see this Alola Marowak farm down, have sort of a running start into whatever's next, and hopefully be able to fire off a Shadow Ball at whatever it is.
Maybe the Wiggly?
It might be the Wiggly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wiggly just piles on damage in a way that matters, and obviously it turns off the energy advantage generated there.
Yeah.
You don't want to throw Shadow Ball into that.
No. So you're just going to hit it with Bone Club.
Right, exactly. The best you can do is hit it with a couple Bone Clubs. It's going to get a bunch of energy on you, but it's a Wigglytuff.
Yeah.
It has one. Oh, another
one.
Bone Club. That clutch. Everything that can go right for the battles in this battle seems to be going right. That 1 HP Bone Club. Wow.
And I mean, you called it.
Yeah.
Marowak's a beast.
Marowak's a beast.
It's up there in the win percents for a reason.
We will see a shield here. Likely this is. Oh, that's the wrong move.
But
did Kim call it? She's not even shielding. Oh my God, she doesn't even shield. Oh no.
That's rough, buddy.
Wow. That's unbelievable. She just calls it. There's an Ice Beam on that Wigglytuff, right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah, these
team
team comps have definitely favored for the battles the whole way. But Kim, an unbelievably great battler.
I was gonna say she's got to shield this.
Well, I mean, the Stone Edge is back, right?
We know what it is.
Yeah, we know it's Stone Edge. We know it's death. Wow, well played. Yeah, and we'll get the Poison Fang KO here, just for the salt.
Just for the.
Well done. And there it is for the battles.
Start. Let's hear it for both of our competitors.
There we go. And the Poison Fang gets the Wigglytuff to finish it off. Very well played for the battles. A 3-0 to wrap up right there. Congratulations. Well done. Yeah. Oh, 3-0. Yeah, 3-0. It's 3-0. That was round 3. I've forgotten what round we're in at this point.
Wow.
That's unbelievable. Very well played. Great battles for both of these contenders.
All right, that was an awesome round with Mason. I was really appreciative to get to play him in this tournament. I never have before, so it was certainly an honor. And now we're going to jump into the next round, and I'm going to be playing the Mr. Valor, and now he has double fighting on his team, which is a little bit scary for this lead. Now I'm facing a Charizard here. Now we know that Surf is just going to be pretty devastating to this Charizard, yet Rhydon is also pretty squishy, and as you can see, that Blast Burn just chunks. And so I'm going to be able to get this Surf off. That was a CMP tie. And then I'm going to switch to my Marowak to hopefully absorb a lot of this Charizard's energy. I'm not going to block here. He made a nice swap, and he's going to eat this Shadow Ball. So this was definitely not my plan. I would have preferred to just get multiple Bone Clubs on this Probopass. So that's what I'm going to do now. And I'm hoping that this will not hurt me later in the battle. I'm not going to block here, because I am just going to come in with Rhydon, get a little bit more energy, and then hopefully be able to get off another charge move. We'll see what comes in. I had to make a quick swap into this Medicham. I am going to block because a Psychic would one-shot me. I'm glad he used a lot of his energy here. I'm going to go ahead and fake to the Shadow Ball and just throw a Poison Fang, hoping to get the shield. And I do get that shield. He swaps into Charizard, and I'm just going to be able to KO it with the Poison Fang. He is going to get a charge move off, and then I do shield a Dragon Claw. It was a bit of a mistake. I didn't need to use that shield. I'm having a problem. I'm in a problem here because this Medi's got a little bit of energy, and I needed to take this on the Rhydon. So I made a quick swap, and I got lucky to catch that Ice Punch on the Rhydon. And now I'll be able to just finish that Medi off with Golbat. So that was an excellent game 1. And we're going to go into game 2. I certainly got lucky at the end there, being able to catch that move. And so game 2, I have a weird setup. I'm not like very set up in the back for this trio. I kind of set up myself to lose this lead and then cover myself instead of win it. And so although Golbat does do okay here, I may come to be in trouble later. So I'm just going to Poison Fang down, and then I do come out winning the lead, but okay, so I'm going to go into the Probopass. I'm just going to get the Shadow Ball off. At this point, he's able to just farm me for quite a while because he does have Spark on this Probopass. He farms me down a little bit. And then I'm going to come in with my Rhydon, or I'm going to come in with the Probopass actually. This is my issue. Because there was a fighter in the back and I had my anti-fighter up front, even though I did win the lead, there really wasn't like a ton I could do. Coming in with the Rhydon, coming in with the Probopass wouldn't really matter to this Scrafty. It's, yeah, there just isn't much I can do here. I could have thrown my move, but he had 2 shields, so that was just my mistake. Definitely a costly trio there. Just not preparing to actually win the lead. So we're gonna go into game 3, and then I've definitely won the lead for this one. So I expect the quick swap, and then he goes into his Wiggly. I go into my Marowak. I got a little bit off of the Wiggly first, just so I could be like a little bit ahead of it, just because it did have an energy advantage in being a swap. So I'm not going to block, and I'm just going to go straight for the Bone Clubs and get some energy on the farm down. And so I will be able to go into this next Pokemon. Now, because this is a Spark Probopass and I have a lot of energy, I am able to get off 2 Bone Clubs right away. And I do get 1 shield out, and then I was able to actually get off a 3rd Bone Club. So that was one of the downsides of having a Spark Probopass in this situation. And then I came in with the Rhydon, and I was able to just delete it with the Mud Slap. Did not have to take a charge move, and then went right back into the Wiggly with the Medi. So very good games, and we're going to go into round 5. Right now for round 5, I was paired with Test 1590, and I have lost this lead, so I'm going to go into my safe swap of Marowak. Now he swaps into a Wigglytuff, and Marowak actually wins Wigglytuff, so especially with energy. So I'm just going to go ahead and Bone Club away and make sure that I do keep this swap advantage, because I do not want my Medi to meet, or that my Rhydon to meet that Medi again. So he does shield one, so I'm going to go ahead and match this shield. Marowak could actually tank this, but if I do go and take it, and then I could get Tarm down after that and lose the lead. So I'm going to go ahead and just hold on to that. Now I could have hit that Bone Club, but it turns out okay anyway, because he does swap in his Medi, and then I do have my Golbat in the back. So I am going to take this Ice Punch, and then unfortunately it was an Ice Punch, and then I believe I get a little bit lucky here, because I think this Medi does not have Psychic as well. If it had Psychic, and then I had blocked the Ice Punch and not the Psychic, I could be in a world of trouble here. And so but it looks like that wasn't the case. And then it comes down to just about losing, but not enough to where it's going to make a big difference, because this Rhydon didn't lose too much to a counter. So I got to just come back into the Probopass. So that was game 1. And then we're going to go into game 2. And then because I see the Skarmory on his team, I like to use, I definitely want to bring Marowak in some capacity, and then I am going to switch it up a little bit for this one, and then I've led my Rhydon into Sableye. Now this isn't exactly where I want Rhydon. It does okay, but I do have Wiggly in the back, and I'd like to meet the Sab with it. So I'm going to just get a little extra energy. I'm going to try to get a shield out. And then I am going to go into this with 2 shields, and then I'm just going to take this on the Wiggly. And then in comes the Probopass. I'm going to go in with the Marowak. It's not a great situation for me. I am going to be using all of my shields if I want to take this Probopass out. I'm going to try to just get as many Bone Clubs off as I can. I wanted to get 2 back-to-back there so I could deny a fast move in between, and I think I was able to. So I think as long as I use my shields, I should be okay here. And then back comes the Medicham, and then we do have 1 shield left, and to take this Ice Punch, and then we'll be able to just take the rest of this money out. I think we got really close to a Psychic there, if he had Psychic. And so another reason I like the Ice Punch Psychic is for the Wigglytuff matchup. I think it could have helped him in two different scenarios so far in this round. So I'm going to go into the next battle. And then we've got the mirror here. Now I don't love this because it's kind of touchy. You can throw a charge move, and block a charge move, and you don't know who's gonna win. It's not really based on I could have blocked that and then thrown my own and still lost. And so that's why I don't like the mirror. It definitely put us into a touchy situation, because now that Medi is in the back and my Rhydon is in the back, and that Medi is just going to destroy it. And then I am just quickly going down to this Probopass's fast move. So just losing that mirror lead has put me in a really dangerous spot for this position, or for this round. This game? I don't know. Anyway, dangerous spot. Especially because he is using those shields. So I am going to have to use a shield. This Magnet Bomb would just take me out. And then I'll be able to get a Surf on this Medi, but it's just not anywhere near enough. And then this Medi is just going to be able to Ice Punch me. So he did take the 3rd game of this round. So great games. And we're going to go into round 6 now. Right now for round 6, I was actually paired up with one of my own teammates from Team Executors R6 Racing. Now I ran out of space and I don't have the other 2 games, but this was the game 1, and I went ahead and I won this lead very hard. So I'm just going to mud slap away. I will block his magnet bomb. It would be super effective. No reason not to block, but I don't have to throw my move. I am just going to farm down. And then in comes the Gliscor, and now that lets me know this team may be a little weak to this Rhydon. And so I'm just going to go ahead and release both of these Surfs. He will let off a charge move. I am thinking that it is just going to be a Night Slash at this point, trying to get a shield out. And so I do not give it to him. In comes the Marowak. I could have surfed, especially because he was down shields, but I'm going to go ahead and save that for the Gliscor. I'm not going to block this because the Shadow Ball wouldn't KO at this point. I'm going to go for my own Shadow Ball. And then I'm going to see the Gliscor come back. I will not reach another move. I could have Poison Fanged him, but it really wouldn't have done much. And so I was just going to go for the Shadow Ball anyway, just because I do have this Surf in the back anyway. So going to come in with the Rhydon, and we'll be able to just mud slap him down. Now, I did lose the other games. I believe I didn't bring a Wiggly for game 1, and so I lost them. I ran out of space. I don't have them on my phone anymore. And so I think a Wiggly, I was able to find a Sableye in game 2, and possibly it might have gotten part of a Gliscor as well. And so that was round 6, and I think same thing happened for round 7. I cannot find them on my phone. I was paired with Wild Susan Boyle. I actually, we had a game 1. I lost the lead, and then I ended up winning the game. It was like by 1 fast move, but we had lag by 1 fast move. And so we had a dispute, and we had a bunch of people watch it. And we decided we needed to redo it. And so I will just play, I'll play the one that was lagged, and then I'll play the one that we redid it from his perspective. And so that'll be game 1, game 1 again. And then we had a third or a second game that he also won. And then we didn't do a third game because everybody was waiting on us. So I will just post those 3 now, and you can see the perspective of me and then of him for the same game over again, and we will get on to the rest of the tournament. Alright, so for the game, I lost the lead pretty hard. I went into Golbat versus Probopass. I switched into my softer counter and Marowak, and hoping he would switch out, and then I was going to save the Rhydon in the back. So I go into the Sableye. I throw the Shadow Ball. Unfortunately, he does block it. I'm going to go ahead and save this Marowak because I want swap advantage. So I go for the Shadow Ball again. I either want swap advantage or to get a lot of health off the Sableye. And so, or to get both shields. So here he's going to take out this Marowak, and I am going to go in with my Golbat because I'm going to try to get rid of it. And then I still have my Rhydon in the back. I can just eat whatever the Sableye has with this Golbat. And then I throw the Poison Fang right before he can get another move. I am going to switch out and then go right into the Rhydon, and so I can get 1 fast move ahead. And then this is where we had lag. Now, like, we kind of lagged at the same time. It was a question of 1 spark that maybe made the difference between him getting like a magnet bomb off. And so we had to redo this, and then it just went differently. I was afraid for game 2 of hiding my hard counter again, and so I just went in with Rhydon immediately, and you're gonna see how it does play out differently. So we start again with Golbat into Probopass, and then instead of going into Marowak, I just go right into Rhydon. He puts in the Sableye. Now Rhydon does like okay with Sableye, but he's gonna make sure that this Rhydon never ends up on the Probopass or the Marowak. So he's just going to foul play it down. I don't even have an opportunity to block right there because he didn't really need to, or throw another one. And so he just got a whole bunch of energy. I am able to take the Sableye out with this Golbat. I do have 2 shields at this point. And so I am just going to go in. I will stay as long as I can before I can get a Shadow Ball, but then I don't want him to farm me, so I do switch out as fast as I can into my own Marowak. And then I've still got shields. I definitely need to block these rock slides. He's going to come in with his own Marowak. I believe at this time, I knew the Shadow Ball was coming, and I tried to tank it on the Golbat. Either my switch timer wasn't up, or I just wasn't able to. So that would have been my only chance there, was to tank that Shadow Ball on the Golbat, but I just wasn't able to. And so that's game 1 again, and then we're going to go into game 2. So I actually win the lead here. So he immediately swaps out into his Glide, and then I swap into Wiggly, and then he gets off a Night Slash. I don't block it because it was pretty quick. I thought it was Night Slash. He did charge up to Earthquake. Now here was my mistake. There is no reason for me not to block this, but I didn't. So I let him get back swap advantage, which was definitely a mistake for me. There is no reason not to block that. So I came in with the Marowak. He's going to get off the Night Slash. I don't block it because it's not going to take me out. I do swap to the Medicham. He swaps to Sableye. He's got 2 shields, and this is why swap advantage is so important, and why I definitely should have blocked that Earthquake, even if it was just a Wiggly and I knew the Probopass was coming. I needed to make sure that my Medicham ended up back on that Probopass, possibly to farm it up and then be able to throw a couple of Ice Punches on this Sableye. So he's going to foul play. I do need to shield this, or it would take me out. And then because my shields are down, he just goes right into the Probopass, and then he's able to Rock Slide me to finish out that game. And again, we didn't do a third match because it had been like an hour and everybody was waiting on us. So amazing games, and congratulations for going on to winning the rest of the tournament. Definitely well-deserved, a brilliant player, and one who I was nervous to face, but honored to face in a ranked tournament. So we're going to go into the next game now. Now is paired with Dobby K9 and a fantastic young trainer. Now for this game, I won this lead. Golbat can take a Shadow Ball, and Marowak does not take Shadow Balls just as well, and so I'm going to go ahead and eat a Bone Club here. And now he actually swaps into the Probopass. Now I'm thinking I'm in a great position here. I'm going to swap into my Rhydon. I'm just going to have to block a Magnet Bomb, and then I will be able to farm down. And now he's got me in a great position here because he's got his Medicham, who does not need to block here. He can just actually return fire and farm me down with this Medicham. So I really like how he plays here. He knows what he can take. He knows he doesn't need to block here, and now he's got a lot of energy. So he's going to go ahead and throw that energy. Now, maybe I should have came in with the Marowak to eat that Ice Punch because it just went ahead and took out that Golbat. So that was definitely an error on my part, in my opinion. So I came into the Marowak. I am forced to block his Shadow Ball. I did call it right, but then I panic a little bit, and I just go for another Bone Club. It wouldn't KO. I should have gone for Shadow Ball here, and he actually is able to get his own Shadow Ball off and close out this game. And so I actually lost the first game of this round. And so very well played. I definitely panicked a little bit towards the end there and should have went for that Shadow Ball. I think he came out of that loss lead very well. So we're going to go into the next game. I'm going to go ahead and lead Rhydon. I've got Marowak and Golbat protecting it. All right, so going into this game, I lead this Rhydon into Sableye. Now, Rhydon does okay here. Mudslap's going to be going to town on this Sableye. Surf is going to do quite a bit because Sableye is a bit squishy. I am going to block this foul play. We CMP tied to this move, so I'm just going to go ahead and get this Surf off. He will return fire and shield as well. I am just going to go ahead and keep this Rhydon alive. It looks like we're just going to fight for the lead position. I take a risk and I go in trying to get some energy on this Golbat, hoping he doesn't have a Probopass. And so I just go straight into the Golbat. I go for the Shadow Ball right away. He's going to return fire with his own Shadow Ball. Shields are down, so I do not... I'm not able to get to my second Shadow Ball, but I am going to come right back in with the Rhydon, who does have a Surf ready to go. And so out comes his Medicham, but I have my own Marowak in the back, so I will be able to finish this Medicham off with a Shadow Ball, and then he's got a little bit of a Sableye in the back, but it is not close to a move, so I am going to be able to just fast move it down. So that was game 2 of the final round. We are 1-1 at this point. I believe we are both also 6-1 in the tournament, so the pressure was on for this game. So I saw that I won the lead, and that was definitely a relief. So he swaps out into his Marowak immediately, and I have my hard counter that was there to protect that Wiggly from this Marowak. So I'm just going to go straight in with the Rhydon. He does not block. He does have his own hard counter to this Rhydon in the back. He will get a little bit of energy. I'm going to come right back in with the Wiggly. I know I can tank anything this Medicham has. Psychic will do quite a bit, but it will not take me out, and then I will be able to just charm him down before he reaches another move. In comes his Probopass. I've got my hard counter in the back. So at this point, he knows we're both up 2 shields, but there's really no coming back from that. So fantastic games, fantastic tournament. I was definitely excited to come to Portland for the first time, come to Vancouver. I've never been to these areas, and I had an amazing time. I actually learned a lot in this tournament, and I got to meet some people I'd never met before. And I'm so proud of Chaz, Wild Susan Boyle, for conquering this tournament. I knew he was going to be a serious contender, and I'm so proud of him and thankful that I got to spend time with him. And I got to spend time with so many of you. Sweetums, you put on an amazing tournament. This is, you did a fantastic job. It was very smooth. It went very quickly for a mega tournament. So thanks again, guys. I can't wait to see you all again. I'm going to be heading to St. Louis for the Safari Zone next month with the help of my friend Chester. I cannot thank him enough. And so I will see you guys there. I cannot wait to compete and see what this new meta brings us.